Are we a banana republic, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, that we have to start impounding passports, we have to start arresting people without a charge being proved against anybody, number one. Number two, the issue of airports that they raise. Well, GVK sold its Bengaluru airport, Fairfax bought it, Fairfax Financials. Now, nobody ever questions that sale. Mumbai sale, because that goes to Adani's, is questioned. And third thing, you know, on the one hand, they say that the Prime Minister has failed in his foreign policy. On the other, they say every country from Israel to Sri Lanka is trembling in their boots and now giving contracts from these foreign countries to Adani. You know, where is the truth, and can we get a perspective and a sense of proportion on the allegations versus the action the opposition is demanding?
Good evening, Navika, and good evening to all my fellow panelists. I've been listening very patiently to this scintillating debate. Please allow me a couple of minutes, if not 3, to get to the bottom of this as a layman, as a common man, as an Indian, not as a politician. Navika, I don't know how many on this panel would like to hear this truth coming from you, or truism, which is that we the people can no longer look at the opposition to work in national interest and confront the government on issues that genuinely need serious attention. I mean, on this panel itself tonight, just 20 seconds before I come to the main thesis, 2 of my esteemed friends have wanted the Adani passport impounded, him to be short of being arrested, JPC committee formed, Supreme Court committee formed. Put the money where your mouth is. Adani is invested in your states, Congress and TMC states, to the tune of 1 lakh crores. Why don't you suspend all those things, agreements and working of Adani Enterprises before you ask for this? That's the normal thing. That's how investigations happen. If you accuse someone, then your every relation with that person stands suspended. Put your money where your mouths are, dare you. But now, this is not about the hypocrisy of the opposition, Navika. We are so tired. The common man is tired. Because let me tell you now, we are the real chowkidars here. The PM talked of lost decade, that of the UPA 2004 to 2014. Fair enough. But if we are to be honest, every single Indian decade has been a lost decade. That is how I feel. The tragedy of this nation is that while we are cursed with the kind of opposition we have, the BJP is blessed with it. Every single decision of the BJP that is in national interest is opposed by the opposition. And every single decision of the BJP that is against the national interest is supported by the opposition. There is no doubt that the Modi government has done some spectacular work that is in national interest. But the opposition has, far from praising it, outraged on it. Like the Balakot strike, the OROP, Swachh Bharat, Ujjwala, Ayushman, Rafale, CAA, 370 COVID vaccines, all these have been opposed and outraged upon. While all the decisions of the BJP that are against national interest, the opposition supports. Let me explain. Please give me a couple of minutes. It's so important. Number 1, we have 1,830 public sector units. Quarter of them are non-functional. A fifth of our annual budgetary allocation goes in propping up PSUs. Except Air India, there has been zero privatization. The PSUs that are sold are bought by other PSUs. PFC, LIC, NTPC buying REC, Coal India, THDC and NIPCO. But who objects to them being sold? Yes, the opposition. 2, nationalized banks are rife with corruption and have NPAs totaling 6 lakh crores. But who objects to their privatization? Yes, the opposition. 3, there is no incentive for private companies to set up shops because of zero land reforms. But who blocked the land acquisition bill? Yes, the opposition. 4, average state debt to GSDP is 35%, highest in 15 years. But who supports loan waivers and freebies? Who reverted to the catastrophic old pension scheme that will bankrupt our states? Yes, the opposition. 5, Modi's BJP was convicted of financial fraud through violating FCRA. But who supported Modi's retrospective amendment of the FCRA, thereby nullifying the court conviction? Yes, the opposition. 6, and this is important, Navika, 30 seconds. Agriculture contributes only 13% to our GDP. And yet, 44% of our 485 million strong labor force is involved in it. In the West, it is only 2%. Production to purchase. The entire chain is archaic, almost medieval. But who objected to the farm reforms? Yes, the opposition. And who supported the anti-farmer move of Modi to repeal the farm reforms, farm bills? Yes, the opposition. Navika, we will never leapfrog Because we don't have governments that think of national interest. We are a welfare state banking on socialism, not capitalism. I repeat, our frog doesn't leap. It remains in the well and keeps croaking that one day it will leap. One day it will leap.
The point here is, Mr. Varis Pathan, empty rhetoric and empty opposition is actually holding India back. Is it something that bothers the opposition? The same GST that was, part of the agenda of the Congress-led UPA suddenly becomes an untouchable. And the list of other reforms has been pointed out by Anand Ranganathan. The question here is, question you must, but question the things where you have some proof, you can quote some rule, but arbitrary, just for rhetorics, you just raise and stall leapfrogging of this country from the level of growth where we are and where we need to be to somehow feed the 140 crore people in this country. Why is the opposition and the government always at loggerheads? Why can't we have some constructive criticism to take the country forward, not this point scoring कि आज क्या कहा, आज शाम को क्या sound bite होगी? That's the question the people of this country are asking you, Mr. Varis Pathan.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Navika. First and foremost, let me make my point clear. The Prime Minister gave a speech which ran into almost 1 hour and 30 minutes. In the entire speech running into almost 1 hour and 30 minutes, he did not answer to any of the questions that were raised by the opposition. I think that speech was a Jumla, it was a self-congratulatory speech made by the Prime Minister. Our party president had also given a speech in the afternoon. He raised certain issues. He spoke about the places of worship that should not be disturbed. He raised the issue about the minorities budget which was reduced to 560 crore rupees. He made statement on the China entering into our borders. Several issues were raised, but the Prime Minister was silent. He also said in a lighter note that a Hindenburg research been done in India, they would have been charged under the UAPA Act, but no answer on that. Today the moot question before the entire nation, as you rightly said, the nation wants to know what is going on in the country, is the first thing, Adani. Adani scam is that people are worried. They've invested that hard-earned money. Ask the middle class, the lower middle class people, what are they going through? They say we have invested the money in the LIC. And suppose tomorrow Adani runs away like Vijay Mallya went away, Nirav Modi went away. What we are going to do? Modi will just make a statement that Kala Dhan bhi laenge, Vijay Mallya ko bhi laenge, Nirav Modi ko bhi laenge. But 28 people have absconded from our country, looting the banks and our hard-earned money. Where will they be getting that? Nothing. No answer on that. China is entering into our territory, which is the national security threat to the country. Well, will Modi show his Lal Aankh and his 56-inch chest? Nothing, no word on China from Modi. Why is he afraid of? Why does he not take the name of Adani? So the message is very clear before the nation that Modi wants to save his friend and he does not want to save the country and the people who have invested their hard-earned money in the Adani group. So where are we heading for? What about, why does he not answer the question on Nari Samman? He spoke about Nari Shakti. We asked the question, what about Bilkis Banu? Her rapists are scot-free. They are moving in the open air. When will you be sent back to the jail? No nothing on that. So what?
Well, Anand Ranganathan raising his hand. Anand Ranganathan on China, the army has given a statement. They will not believe the army. On Pulwama, the army gave a statement. They will not believe the army. On the Adani issue, SEBI has given a statement. LIC has given. They will not blame. They will not believe that story. What do they want?
नाविका मैं बताता हूं, अभी दूध का दूध पानी का पानी करता हूं. वारिस पठान मेरे बहुत अजीज मित्र ही नहीं है, मेरे बड़े भाई भी हैं. इनसे एक सवाल है, इतना ये अदानी कह रहे थे, आप तेलंगाना के गवर्नमेंट में भी नहीं भले ना हो लेकिन सपोर्टर हैं तेलंगाना गवर्नमेंट के, राइट? आप उनसे कहिए टिल सच टाइम अदानी इज इन्वेस्टिगेटेड, सस्पेंड ऑल वर्किंग ऑफ अदानी एंटरप्राइज इन तेलंगाना. से ब्लॉक अदानी फ्रॉम तेलंगाना.
Sir, my dear friend Anand, My dear friend, Anand, I am asking that question. People are asking when will a committee be formed to investigate? Let an investigation take place. Let an investigation take place. दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी, चाय का चाय हो जाएगा. But Modi does not want an investigation on that.
No, then you stop doing business with them in Telangana. Congress should stop doing business with them in Chhattisgarh and in Rajasthan. Why don't you do that? आप एक तरफ बोलते रहोगे कंपनी के बारे में और दूसरी तरफ you are saying arrest him, impound his passport.
Impound his passport. Let the country know that he will not be absconding. We will
17,000 crore के प्रोजेक्ट सस्पेंड करिए तेलंगाना में.
My friend, आप तो लॉयर हैं. आप तो लॉयर हैं. You want people's passports to be impounded even before any investigation is done, even before any court gives a.
Vijay Malia's passport was not absconded. Vijay Malia's passport was not impounded. He went away. He absconded. Nirav Modi absconded. Sarabde Sarab Rajars absconded.
Anand Ranganathan is responding to you. Anand Ranganathan.
On the condition.
Why not impound their passport? Yes.
पठान साहब प्लीज इंटरप्ट मत करिए. आपको पता है कि आप इस पे ट्रैप हो गए, लेकिन इसलिए आप इंटरप्ट कर रहे हैं. सुन लीजिए मेरी बात. नाविका, खुदा ना खास्ता कल प्लीज नाविका, अगर कल वारिस पठान साहब पे खुदा ना खास्ता कोई सीरियस एलिगेशन लगती है फ्रॉड की, तो इनका लॉयर्स लाइसेंस लोग कहेंगे सस्पेंड कर दिया जाए, इन पे इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो. जिस दौरान इन पे इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो रही है, क्या ये केस लड़ सकते हैं? इज इट अप्रोप्रिएट फॉर हिम टू कीप ऑन फाइटिंग?
नहीं, इंपाउंड करवाना. सिर्फ लॉयर लाइसेंस, पासपोर्ट भी इंपाउंड करवा लो.
इन्वेस्टिगेशन
पासपोर्ट पता नहीं इंडियन पासपोर्ट इंपाउंड होगा ना.
5 seconds, allow me. Pending investigation. Let an investigation take.
Patan Saab, don't make.
Allow me to make my point. Just 10 seconds.
Patan Saab, I haven't finished. This is so unfair. आपको आपकी बिरयानी का वास्ता. Please सुन लीजिए.
अच्छा, you haven't finished, okay.
I haven't, क्योंकि आप बार-बार इंटरप्ट कर रहे हैं. अब बिरयानी नहीं, आपसे सेवइयां मंगवानी पड़ेगी. नाविका, सिंपल सी बात है. अगर ये इन्वेस्टिगेशन की डिमांड कर रहे हैं, जब तक इन्वेस्टिगेशन पूरी नहीं होती, उस आदमी के साथ सारी डीलिंग्स सस्पेंड कर दी जाती हैं. मेरा सिंपल सवाल है, आप डिमांड करिए अपने तेलंगाना चीफ मिनिस्टर से कि अदानी के साथ जो भी स्टेट्स के साथ चल रहा है तेलंगाना में, वो सस्पेंड कर दीजिए. सारे प्रोजेक्ट सस्पेंड करिए.
Will you raise that demand? Mr. Pathan, will you raise that demand? Yes or no?
Go ahead, करो पूरे इंडिया में. देखो, करो पूरे इंडिया में. पूरे इंडिया के अंदर अडानी ग्रुप के खिलाफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन आप करिए, एंड पेंडिंग द इन्वेस्टिगेशन इंपाउंड हिज पासपोर्ट. आई एम फॉर दैट. इंपाउंड, बट एटलीस्ट
पासपोर्ट इंपाउंड करके बिजनेस नहीं बंद करेंगे. बिजनेस नहीं बंद करेंगे, पासपोर्ट इंपाउंड करेंगे.